Hi, this is Scott again with the 309 Punk Project, and I am here with my really good friend, Mike Kimberl. He's our newest member of the board, so I thought, Mike, I think probably everybody in Pensacola knows you, but maybe not everybody out there in the world knows you. So introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Mike Kimberl. I'm a local Pensacolian, so I guess I've been in the punk scene here in Pensacola since late 80s, early 90s. I guess as soon as my parents started letting me out of the house. Um, um, I had a good decade of drug addiction in there that when I came out of, realized the world was a worse place than it was when I started trying to numb myself to it. And so I got real active in the community with mutual aid projects. So I started off with Food Not Bombs in 2011, was real active in the Occupy movement. And from that grew to starting my own nonprofit called Sean's Outpost with some friends. And we ended up buying a piece of property that we named Shitoshi Forest and set up a campground for people to have a safe place to sleep at night. And then from there, I guess my day job has become the director of the Alfred Washburn Center, which is a day center for people experiencing homelessness where they can come and get a shower, do a load of laundry, set up a mailbox, and get some other supplies. And so I've become quite infamous in Pensacola, and I've gotten to take, class wars gotten a whole new meaning to me, with the line of work that I'm doing now. So.
Well, you can see it too. It's funny because you say infamous, but then also I think another word would be beloved by a lot of folks. So it's funny because even your occasional opponents, and I wouldn't even really call them opponents sometimes they're, but I'd say the people that might not be on your side still have a pretty good level of respect for you, and it's evident, whenever they talk. So when Patrick had suggested that you be on the board, it's like, yeah, of course. It's like, does he have time? Yeah, and we're so glad that you are here with us with 309. I don't know if you remember, but the first time I met you was at Subterranean Books. It was a million years ago when Subterranean was on the west side. And I remember you coming in there saying you're with, I think you were, if I remember right, that you were in an anarcho-punk band back then, and still kept it up since. So you're in a number of bands as well too, right?
I am. I was in a series of bands before drug addiction, and then one of the things that helped get me out of drug addiction was playing music. So most recently, I guess our most infamous band that I was in before drug addiction was a group called the 44 Caliber Saints. I guess our big claim to fame was we right, I guess I can't even remember if we had been changed the name to that yet or not, but like right around that time we got in a bar fight with Kid Rock at Sluggos.
You were in that?
Yeah, I was involved in that
didn't
fight.
know. I knew of the fight and people talk about it a lot, but I did not know that you were part of that.
Yeah, I was one of those fighters. I think it's the last real fight I was ever in too. So like I try to keep that as like, that's a good last fight.
You're probably not going to get better than that, right?
Yeah, we were real proud of that fight too. So funny story is like not long after that they were on Rockline, and we were sitting there with a tape deck ready to record. We actually called in and got into Rockline, and we were just like, we saw Kid Rock in Pensacola. We just want to tell them how much we love them. And they were like, okay, hold on 1 second. And we were like, man, this is going to be the best sample for our album. And then they clicked back on and they're like, we're sorry, Kid Rock doesn't want to speak to anyone from Pensacola, Florida. And so I wish we had the phone call recorded. So that would have been a good sample, but we didn't.
I had no idea about that. I didn't know that. Oh, that's really good, all of it. So you're one of our great members of the board. You're one of our new members of the board too. So tell me, why did you want to be on the 309 Punk Projects board?
Sorry, could you start that over? Just
Yeah,
got a phone.
sure. Oh, yeah, sure. Let's see how busy Mike is. All right. So do you want to be on the 309 Punk Projects board?
So I was talking to Patrick and he mentioned it. And when we were talking, I guess the first thing that really stuck out to me was aside from like the love of the idea of archiving our history, was he named off all the other members on the board. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to sit at a table with all these people. Like this is an all-star cast of the who's who of Pensacola punk. This is, it, I mean, like there's still a lot of great names out there that aren't sitting at this board, but like
Mhm.
it really is. It's a stellar board, and it
Mhm.
got me excited. I just wanted to be part of it. It really sparked my imagination, and yeah, still don't know where I fit in yet, but I'm I'm excited to be part of it.
Well, you're a key member, so what do you, well, let's see, ask you this. So what do you hope that 309 Punk Project will do in the future?
So, I really like how punk has aspects to social justice,
Mhm.
and I think it is one of my big motivators, and has probably helped guide me to the kind of person I am today. And so, I would like to bring some more of that to the table. I've been talking with Surrounder that they're coming. They're about to have a month at the house, and
Yeah. Mhm.
they had mentioned wanting to collaborate with me on some social justice with their
Oh.
project that they're
Mhm.
doing. So we don't know. I don't. That's all I know. So like
Uh,
little sneak peek there to that. But that's exciting.
yeah.
Um, and then I would really like to see if we could try to focus on archiving the music as well. And
Mhm.
so maybe having a 309 record label
Mhm.
would be something I would like to see. And probably should talk to you about this as the board before talking on a live video, but like I would like to see something like that come up.
Uh, well, I think it'd be a really cool thing. And, I remember talking with Mike Graham from Mega Sandwich a while back, and, he's given us some of the equipment that we're going to use for the recording studio. And it would be amazing to be able to not only record the bands, but then also be able to archive just the great stuff that has come out of Pensacola, and a lot of stuff too that people don't know, because, for better or worse, a lot of Pensacola bands stay in Pensacola, so they don't tour as much, with a few exceptions. And it'd be nice to be able to give people a reason to go on tour, to have records out, and for no other reason too. It's cool,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I have a list of albums that nobody's ever heard,
uh,
and so I would like to put some stuff out,
yeah.
so and it'd be cool to do it under the 309 label. That'd be
Mhm.
awesome. So,
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, and then these are kind of the things that we really want to see happen in the project, because when we look at it, a lot of times people would just think of it, originally would think of it as a museum, which it's not really, but then when we think of it as the archives, it's certainly part of it. But if it's always just looking to the past, then it's kind of cool. I mean, it's cool actually. I'm a historian, so I think that part is cool. But then also can't use the history. Think about like in the Howard Zinn sense of history, that if you can't use the history, for the future, then what good is it except for just trivia? And I've always thought of this as something that that we can use, to make the punk scene that we've wanted to see, for a while, just as ideal as we can make it in the ways that we can do it. And, it's a learning process for all of us too, as we're going along. We're very different from the beginning. And I think with having a diverse board, that's one of the ways that we're going to be able to become that, by having a lot of voices. And like that suggestion that you mentioned, and a lot of people have been talking about that too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had something like that, especially with Surrounder in the house too. So we got a really great band that's going to be there. It's going to be our first band that's an artist in residence. So it's pretty rad.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Well, we're out of time, so I just wanted to say I appreciate you And I not only appreciate you for taking a few minutes to talk with us, talk with the world here, but then also just all the incredible stuff that you do. I mean, you just mentioned just a little snapshot, but if anybody knows Mike, you know that Mike is always out there fighting for all the different people out there, but fighting with them, instead of fighting for them, fighting with them side by side, that mutual aid way that will one day make the world a better place, so you're on that forefront of this. So I appreciate you, friend.
No, well, thank you. Likewise. I love all the stuff that you do as well.
No, so much love here.
Yeah, I'm honored to be on this board. I really am.
We're honored to have you, friends.